Welcome everyone to the glaze trial. Now, once again, I shall explain I think we've done this enough. We know the rules already. Okay, then we say... whatever. If we get it wrong, we all get executed, but if we get it right, the person who killed Goomba gets executed instead. That's simple. Okay, I guess you know. But yes, either way, your goal is to figure out who killed Goomba this time. Look at you. There are half as many portraits as there are people in this. How interesting. Yeah, we have lost quite a lot of people, haven't we? Well, this isn't the time for grieving. This is time for solving. Solving who killed my servant. We gotta figure that.
Junior, please calm down. We're going to get to it. We just gotta take some time.
Alright, so what's the first thing we need to do? Well, we can immediately rule myself, Mischievous, and Luigi as suspects since we saw the body. I guess that's one downside to having a fewer group of people. You can narrow down the suspects a lot quicker. So it immediately comes down to one of us five as the potential suspects, right? Well, I'm a suspect. Do you really think I would kill my own servant?
No, but yes, but you're still a suspect, so we kind of have to count you.
Ah, great. Well, why don't we start in this case where we always start? The murder weapon.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Definitely something we need to answer. Alright then. Again, we are starting with the murder weapon.
What could have possibly killed Goomba? The way his body was positioned, it's hard to try and figure it out. Not to mention, there was more than one weapon. Well, I would say maybe the knife, because considering that would definitely give enough damage.
No, that's wrong. You know, Mischievous, it's kind of hard for me to imagine that the knife could have done it.
What? Why?
Well, similar situation as to what happened with Blue Toad's murder. The knife was clean. It was a different knife, one that had blood on it.
Oh, right. The knife was clean. I forgot. Not to mention the monokuma file. Take a look. If you'll notice on the monokuma file, the cause of death was blunt force trauma. Plus, it's kind of hard to imagine a knife being used to cause blunt force trauma while the speaker works perfectly for that. But, I guess that's true. Okay, but then what did kill him? There was that speaker. It was covered in blood. It must have done it.
But there's no way for any of us to really pick that thing up and toss it over his head. I'm pretty sure there may be another way that the speaker fell on top of his head. If it really is the murder weapon, then we don't know if we can figure it out just...
Listen, we can all talk about what could have killed him later. There's something more important we need to talk about.
More important? Junior, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I have some questions. Questions for you, monokuma. Oh, great, here we go.
Oh, so,
you're really just gonna wrap this out in the middle of the trial?
Well, I am not surprised.
Monokubs, what is he talking about? What happened?
Nothing, Dad.
Shoot, we're dead. Junior, could you explain? Okay, listen. While you all were investigating the murder room, me and Luigi went to go explore, look for other clues outside of it. And while we were there, we encountered the monokubs. And you know what happened?
Oh, that. Yeah, they gave us information about something. Like, part of the murder.
Wait, they just willingly told you part of the murder? We did not willingly tell them.
Monokubs, why the freak would you do that?
We did not mean to, Father. It was accident. It was Monofan's fault. No, it was not. I did not.
Oh, it was totally you.
If you need more information on what we're talking about, so discuss it for us. Sure. Quicker we get this. While investigating, the monokubs told us that someone, the killer, ended up coming. But why? They said the reason they came was because they asked for a specific item. This item was a USB.
A USB stick? What would they want?
We're telling you, yes, we did give them a USB, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, especially because you couldn't even find a USB.
Even while investigating, there was none present.
Exactly. No, that's wrong. No, there was indeed a USB. In fact, I have it inside my hat as we speak.
Wait, you do, Luigi? Pull it out then, let us see it.
Here you go. This is the USB.
Oh wow, there really is one. Cubs? Father, please do not get angry. I won't get angry. If you tell me right now you did not spoil the killer to them along with this info.
We did not, Father.
They didn't. They did not tell us the killer. Okay, good. That's good, because we can keep the trial going. But I'm still angry with all of you. Well, sorry. So, there really is a USB, huh? Well then, what is it used for?
Why is it here? What's the point of the USB? I'm not so certain. But it's here, which means it's clearly evidence. If the monokuma say so, then it has to be.
Don't get it wrong, Luigi. Just because that's what the Cubs say doesn't mean that's correct, Luigi.
What do you mean? It's proof. It's evidence. We found it.
But how do you know? There's multiple other ways it could have happened. You don't know. So you found the USB. That doesn't mean it's part of the crime at all. Especially if we don't have proof.
We do have proof. The monokuma told us so.
Ow. Hard to carry this damn thing with legs. Okay, but if the monokuma say is true, then what could the USB have even been used on? There's nothing in here that it could have worked with.
Nothing it could have been used on? No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, there's one thing I think the USB could have been used on.
What?
The motive, the headset. That thing was electronic, right? Would it be impossible that there's a USB slot in there, Mon?
A USB slot in the motive headset? Yes, there is. Wait, really? But why implement something like that to the motive? So I could input all those, like, you know, the videos. That's how he inputted it. Oh, I guess that makes sense. So, the killer used the USB on the motive headset? But why? Were they trying to take the video? I'm not sure, but whatever the reason is, that's clearly what they must have used it. But who here would have wanted to use it on the motive? Yeah, good question. I mean, someone would have wanted what was in it, right? Who here has the reason to want something like that?
Who could have wanted what was ever inside the motive so bad? I have one guess, though it's not the killer. You're the only one. There's one guess I have that maybe who could have wanted with the motive. Maybe it was Goomba himself.
What, Goomba? Luigi, what do you mean?
Well, I saw Goomba. He used the motive, and he went a bit bonkers. He ran off, and, well, I'm thinking maybe he could have wanted the video he saw in the motive. Maybe that's why it was used, so they could retrieve that video, the one he saw using the motive.
Luigi, that's a pretty strong theory, you know? And it kind of makes sense. So, wait, Luigi, are you trying to say that Goomba committed suicide?
What? Where'd you get that idea?
If he wanted the USB so he could get access to what was in the video, he's the most logical person to try and want something like that. You know? Especially because he would want it. And if you think about it, if that was the video Goomba really wanted, he probably went crazy and would have done it. And I mean, think about it. If you also know, the monokuma said the killer is the one who took the USB, right? So, if Goomba wanted it and he asked for the USB, then that means Goomba killed himself. Now that you mention it, it's possible. I don't think so. There are other things. This trial just started, so we can't be sure. But what other chances are there? There's nothing else. Suicide? I highly doubt it. Goomba was a person who wouldn't do such a thing. Exactly. There's no way. Although no one has said the word, it's already determinable that there is a split among this group. Scrum debate. Yes, you know it. USB was given to the killer specifically, Goomba would make this criteria. Ralse, but that doesn't mean he would commit suicide. If you knew him, you know he wouldn't have done. What if he saw something in the video that sent him off the tipping point? Squirtle. No, he still would have remained calm. He wouldn't go that far. But with the way the body was positioned in the crime scene, it's gotta be suicide. Squirrel. No, listen. Because how do you think he could have lifted up that speaker and smashed it against his own head? Nobody would have dared to fight Goomba. He's too strong.
I'll do it. You saw how scared he was after the murder video when he watched it. He could have easily had his guard dropped because of. This is our answer. With what we've just discussed, we can rule out any other possible form that Goomba's murder could possibly be a suicide. He was killed by someone.
Fine, I guess someone did kill him. Okay, but then who? That's what we're trying to discuss and figure out. We have to be patient. Well then, what's the next topic?
I think I know where we should start. Mischievous?
What? Huh? Could you recall your alibi? How did you find the body? How did I... Oh, sure, I can definitely do that. Are we just gonna go over what she saw again? Yeah, how's this gonna help? It'll give us something important, surely. We'll figure it out. Now, Mischievous, start from the beginning. Tell us how you found Goomba's body. Okay, sure thing. I was searching around, trying to look for clues on the mask. I had the feeling no one had checked the weapons room yet, so I went... Which way did you enter the weapons room? I entered the weapons room, or tried to enter, through the hallway door. However, it was locked, so I ended up taking the other exit. And then, when I went into the room, that is where I found Goomba's body.
I agree with that. I think we can all agree that Mischievous's alibi is pretty true, especially because the door was locked, right?
Yes. I mean, we all saw the locked door. I guess that's true. So, what does this mean? It means the door was already locked before Mischievous entered. She couldn't have caused it. So, this locked door must have been caused by either the culprit or someone else. Even so, this brings us to a dead end, you know? Like, we can't really prove that's what happened, you know? Because we don't have any evidence. One locked door doesn't really help, it just leads us to a dead end. If you think about it, lots of this case will just lead us to dead ends if we discuss one topic. We have to discuss each individually, and then we'll learn the truth. Discuss each one individually? I'm afraid I do not understand. I'll show you. Let's move on to the next subject then. The projector. Okay, thank you. What the hell was the deal with that thing? Why was it projecting onto Goomba's body like that, in such a strange way?
It certainly made his body hard to notice.
Yeah, it's the next subject on the list. Once we discuss it, we'll be closer to the truth.
The projector. Certainly an interesting piece of evidence. Not talked about yet. Let's go over.
When we first found the projector, it was facing on Goomba's body. How did it even get like that in the first place? We should be discussing as to how it got turned on. Well, couldn't the culprit have just pressed the on button and then bam? They could, yes. However, I don't think that's what happened. Really? Then how else did it get turned on? Well, there's a piece of evidence connected to the projector that might figure this out. Luigi, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I agree with that. Yes, I do. The scratch mark on the projector, isn't it?
Yes, the scratch mark. Thanks to Rousey for spotting it. However, I think it explains how it got turned on. Well, going off the assumption that it was turned on by accident, I have a theory. Monokuma, could you use the little transformation square thingy to teleport me to the crime scene? Oh, sure thing. Step on in. Alright, I'll show you guys what... Perfect, okay. So, this is the knife Goomba had in the crime scene, right? And this is the projector. And there's the scratch mark. Now watch this. If I set the knife right up against the scratch. It's a perfect fit. Exactly. But then watch, if I move it forward, and then while it's against the scratch mark, if I tilt the knife down, bam, hits the power button perfectly. So it lines up perfectly with the projector. What does that matter? Well, that's how it probably got turned on. The knife was used to turn it on. But why? That was so stupid of a way. Like, they wouldn't do that, right? I don't think the culprit caused it. I think maybe it was Goomba. What? Haven't we already ruled out the fact that Goomba could not have committed suicide? Yes, we have, but I think there's a different thing going on. See, Junior and Luigi, you said Goomba used the motive and went a bit crazy? Yes. So, what if what he saw in the motive ticked him off to where he wanted to kill? But how does that make sense? No, think about it. Here, I'm gonna renounce this case. Tell me if this makes sense. So, Goomba used the motive device, and he saw someone die. He went crazy. However, he asked somebody to get the video that he saw back from the motive. But what? How? Well, talking once again. We know that from the monokubs, it was the killer, and we've ruled out Goomba as a suicide. He asked someone to get it from him. They asked someone to get the USB, and then take the motive. They gave him the video, but maybe he went crazy, and then he tried to kill the real culprit. So Goomba used the knife and tried to attack the culprit, and ended up turning on the projector? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Oh. You know, it makes sense. Goomba tried to kill somebody? No, he wouldn't do that. Yeah, sure, he saw the motive, but he wouldn't go that far, would he? He's an army commander, of course he would. No, surely not. Okay, but if that's what really happened, then where does this leave us? What would have happened if Goomba did try to kill the real culprit? How did the culprit overpower them? I'm a bit curious about that too. How does that happen? How did he die like that? If he really didn't commit suicide? If the culprit and Goomba chased the culprit into the weapons room, how did he die? Well, it's not like any of us could pick up that speaker, especially by ourselves. So then how the hell did the speaker get pushed down and kill him? Maybe no one picked it up, and it fell. How could the speaker have possibly fallen onto Goomba? If it fell, the person would have to be high up, and I don't think there was any way that that person could have been high up. No, that's wrong. Quirrell, you remember those strange arranged objects you pointed out? Oh, yeah? I thought those weren't related to the crime and I was just being crazy. No. The way they were arranged, the objects, it looked like someone could climb up it, didn't it? Like someone could climb up the shelves? What do you mean? Oh yeah, I guess it was arranged in that way. So, if someone climbed up those objects onto the shelves, maybe to get away from Goomba, then what if the speaker was already on those shelves? The way the speaker was angled, it made it look like it had just fallen from that shelf specifically. Exactly. So maybe the culprit walked up and pushed it onto him. But there was kind of no need to arrange the objects like that, and someone to climb up. I mean, us who have legs and have arms could have easily pulled themselves up. Yeah, they didn't need to walk up. Which is why we've already narrowed down to the culprit. Wait, what? We know who the culprit is? Yes, we do. We just figured out with that statement alone, the culprit could have easily climbed up that shelf if they had arms and legs. However, they had to arrange objects so they could climb up it. You know what this means, Louis? This must mean the culprit is him. It doesn't. You're the only one.
Danganronpa.